This is a podcast from the Daughters to Online Radio Company. There are some terms and conditions regarding its use. Probably. We hope you enjoy it, and if you do, maybe you would enjoy other podcasts. Welcome to the Daughters to Online Radio Company.
Hello and welcome to the DORC podcast. What a difference a week makes. Last week we were all about the summer, but this week, the week that I've had off from other work, has been cold and rainy. Did the change in the weather stop some of the nation from celebrating the Queen's Diamond Jubilee? Well, yes, actually it did, but others were not put off and were punished with one of the dullest concerts of all time, street parties and the lighting of many a giant wicker queen, each containing a sour-faced Republican who'd spent the whole weekend watching the endless sycophantic coverage and tweeting their complaints about it. It wasn't for you! I don't watch songs of praise or In the Night Garden and constantly moan about them because they're not for me. These people are as bad as Daily Mail writers who complain that the BBC is not showing programmes that are interesting to them all day, every day. It's not about you. Grow up. You need to pick your battles, people, and it was never going to be the right weekend for conversations for your cause. Anyway, did we as a network cover the many events? Of course we did. Here are some of the highlights, but to be honest, it's mostly about the flotilla thing on the Thames.
I am sailing home again.
You join us here at the side of the Thames on this historic occasion, and it's pissing it down. I only mention it because, yet again, the person who is supposed to organise things hasn't. And instead of being in a nice warm studio, watching the BBC's feed of events and passing inane, deferential and sycophantic comments, I am outside, getting increasingly both damp and cold, and trying to find some free Wi-Fi so that I can watch the BBC's iPlayer on my phone. Today is not a good day. Oh, I think I have a signal. Let's just try this. Right, iPlayer app. Let's wait a minute for that to buffer. It's buffering. It's buffering. It's buffering. Obviously I could go into a Starbucks to do my bits now, but their coffee sucks so very hard that even as I might be getting hypothermia right now, I'm still not going to go in there. I'm just going to wipe some of the drizzle off of the screen and gaze at the tiny picture. This will be much easier with an iPad. I say again, if anyone wants to send me one, I will happily mention it every week. iPad, 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 iPad. Or one of the Samsung ones, they look quite good. The screen is a little misted up, but I think I can just about see what's going on. Oh yes, look, boats. Yes, there are boats. We have boats on many boats on the Thames. This is lovely. Look at all those boats. The last time Britain put together a fleet this large, Mrs. Thatcher had an election to try and win. It is quite a sight. Many of the boats here are representing Commonwealth countries and are paying respect to the Queen. But there are also boats from ex-colonies and countries that used to be in the Empire. There, for instance, is a boat representing Canada, a fine liberal country that is proud-ish to be part of the Commonwealth, and it can be seen here, slowly drifting to the right. India and Pakistan were going to share a boat, but it was felt that it would be easier if they had separate barges, so they were partitioned. The large mass that is being dragged between them represents the 1 million who died. Right, we can cross to our correspondent, who's somewhere in the flotilla, I believe. You sound out of breath. Well, yes, I am. None of the big broadcast organisations would let me on their boats. So you're running along the embankment to do this report? Oh no, I am much more inventive than that. Go on. I stole a swan-shaped pedalo, and I am catching them as we speak. Genius. What can you see? Well, mostly, right now, rain and spray on my glasses. Okay, well, thanks for that. We might cross back to you later. Let's have a word with some of the people who are lining the banks of the Thames, trying to stare through the mist at an old lady in a hat on a shiny barge. Ah, sir, I see you've come in fancy dress. What sort of outfit is that? It looks like a sort of a stereotype Victorian evil businessman. No, this is just my normal everyday outfit. I run Close Protection UK, and we are providing the stewards and security at this event. Evil laugh. Ah, excellent. And where did those workers that you've bussed in spend the night? They were getting some experience. Evil laugh. Why do you keep saying evil laugh at the end of a sentence? Well, I am some sort of stereotype evil pantomime villain in your piece. Despite the fact I am actually a real person named Molly Prince, this is just an exaggerated, satirical version of me for comic effect. And I felt that my character needed to have a big, evil laugh. The thing is, I can't actually do a big evil laugh, so I went with this. Evil laugh. But that does sound a bit silly. We could have put that in post-production, you know. Well, I know, but getting those sound effects off the internet can be a bit of a pain in the arse, I'm led to believe. Now, that is true. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. You too, evil laugh. Back to the boats, and the BBC are showing a close-up of the Queen's big shiny barge. Does that sound like a euphemism to you? No? No? Okay, just me. And Prince Philip doesn't look entirely comfortable. He's jigging about like a man who might have the start of a bladder infection. Oh, no, my mistake. Now a couple of the other royals are moving about a bit. Might they be cold? I know I am. Let me just try and turn the volume up here a bit on my phone, see if the BBC can enlighten me as to what's going on. Hang on. Ah, that would explain it. Let me just hold it a bit closer to the mic. Can you hear that? You see, that is a catchy tune. There's another barge there. That is Australia, I believe. They would have had a larger boat, but they couldn't really decide whether they wanted to come or not. That remarkably small, pointless boat there that you can make out through the fog and drizzle, that one that is clearly South American, but there are people squabbling over it, I believe that one is representing the Falkland Islands. Oh, and that other one that looks remarkably similar, that is also being argued over in Spanish and loudly, slowly spoken English, that's here on behalf of Gibraltar. Ah, and here are some boats representing countries that we've had a long, involved history in, but now everything is absolutely fine. Here is Iraq, and that one with smoke rising from it is Afghanistan, I'm led to believe. A bit more atmosphere now, and let's talk to another person who is enthusiastically waving a flag and watching the flotilla. Hello to you, bog-standard old lady. How are you holding up?
We have blitz spirit, don't we? It's like Dunkirk.
You don't think that might be a bit of an exaggeration? After all, it is only raining and is a bit chilly.
Well, to be honest, I lived in the countryside during the war, and I was a child, so I really don't remember that much about it. Although, I do seem to remember that it was slightly chillier than you would expect between 1939 and 1945. We blamed Mr. Hitler.
Great. Are you enjoying the day?
Oh yes, I am having a lovely day. I have brought sandwiches and a thermos of tea, and I've settled in now and I'm quite comfortable. I love the Queen. She's brilliant. Quite the inspiration.
Inspiration for what, may I ask?
Well, mostly the wearing of yellow. Is a very difficult colour to carry off. Oh, and the amassing of massive private wealth at cost of the public. Makes you proud, doesn't it?
And what do you think of Charles?
Well, how can I put this? he's a bit of a twat, isn't he? What with the supporting of alternative medicine and all that describing himself as the enemy of the Enlightenment. And don't get me started on his views about architecture. It's the 21st century, love, not the 17th. Move on. I think really that we should skip a generation and have that nice William. Although I'm not so keen on that Kate, though. Bit thin for my liking. I like 'em with a bit more meat on 'em myself. Give her a few pies and she'll be fine.
Well, there are some things for us to consider there, and can I apologise for the rude word, but this is live radio and these things do happen.
What do you mean, rude word? I only said twat. It's not like I said cunt, was it? No, that is a rude word. I can't stand it myself.
Oh God, again with the apologies. Just one thing, old lady. You said that you would quite like succession to skip a generation, right?
Yes.
So you would want to choose the head of state?
Well, yes, I suppose I do.
Doesn't that make you a sort of Republican?
Ooh, yes, I think it does. Oh, well, that changes everything then, doesn't it? Boo! Hiss! Down with this sort of thing. Careful now. What do we want? An elected head of state. When do we want it? Well, we're happy until the current Queen dies before this happens, but then we would like an elected head of state if that's all right with everybody.
Okay, let's cross back to the river. And have you caught up with those big boats yet? Mayday! Mayday! I have been caught in the tide. I am heading toward the Queen's big shiny barge.
Does that sound like a euphemism to anybody? I am pedalling backwards as hard as I can, but it is no good. I am being sucked in. I am crossing the event horizon. I'm going in. Tell my wife I love her. Avenge my death.
Ah, dear me. We would like to apologise to the monarchy for the slight bump that they may have felt just then. And we're pretty sure that piece will end up in our Christmas blooper reel. Ah, look, a small child, again, wearing, frankly, more Union Jacks than I think is strictly necessary, and waving four Union Jacks. He's the most patriotic person I've seen today. Hello, small child. Your mummy tells me that you're called Noah. Is that right?
Poopy.
And that you're 4 years old.
Poopy.
Well, don't you look nice in your Union Jack stuff? Are you having a good time?
Poopy.
Do you like the Queen?
Poopy.
Do you understand anything that's going on at all today? Anything at all?
Poopy.
Oh, great. And can you say anything else?
Poopy.
Well, that's brought you some of the atmosphere from around the Thames today on this historic occasion. We've had a child that only said poopy, we've had a sweary old lady, and we've killed one of our correspondents. I'm pretty sure it's what the Queen would have wanted.
The Daughters to Online Radio Company is written by Martin Norris, produced by Martin Norris, and recorded in the front room of a house owned by Martin Norris. Please do feel free to give us a good review on iTunes, or Twitter and Facebook your friends to tell them about us. Thank you.